Hello, 7th period English. So the first thing that I'm going to do is take the measurements of my model, like the hip, waist, things like that. And I used a picture that tailored suits to get all of the measurements I need. Now I'm at Hobby Lobby and I am getting this one. It's a broadcloth fabric for the shirt I had intended on making. These three are my choices for my pants, but it's important when you're choosing a fabric to choose one that's not going to irritate the skin. And so the blue one right here is very rough, and the other two are softer. I chose the skinny stripe because I felt that it went better with the shirt color, but I didn't end up making the shirt due to lack of time. This is for the outer part of the vest, and this pink silk is what I was going to put on the inside of the white. And then I found some buttons and a pencil that's completely useless. And here's all I got. I got a cutting board and some lining that was kind of useless, my buttons, and then my fabric. I organized my space and threw the fabrics in the washing machine. While they were washing, I worked on my slideshow some more. Then I transferred the clothes over to the dryer. While my clothes are in the dryer, I am going to be making a sketch of the pants to tell me like how long they should be using the measurements I have on here. I traced and then cut out my pants. That's the front and that's the back. This is the waistband. I am watching a video that guides me on how to make the panels for my vest. It was a little bit more complicated, so I used a tissue and a piece of paper to help write down my measurements. So this is going to be the layout for the vest. Here's the base one, and then this is a structured fabric that's supposed to keep the back of the panel sturdy. And now I'm putting the pink silk on top. I could have picked any color, but I picked pink because I wanted to mess with the colors and kind of make it my own, but this is what it's going to look like. I cut out the white side panel with the pins, and my next step is to trace one and cut out two of the pinks. This is a real sewing stitch, and the one right here is a guideline stitch that will just help me keep in mind where to go when I'm sewing it with the sewing machine. Now I am home and I am tracing the back panel with pins because the pencil I got was useless, and I'm doing this according to my guidelines, and I am placing them side by side to make sure that they are even when I connect the back to the sides. After I cut it out, I'm going to spend the next hour and a half making a guideline stitch. Now I am tracing and cutting out the back panel, and it consists of this thick fabric, which I have now cut out and am planning to sew it into it, but I ran into a snag. I made it a little bit too big, so I had to adjust and make it a little bit smaller. So this is me doing that. I am only showing it once, but this is sort of the real time that it takes me to sew, which it takes forever, as you can see. But I did all of the stitching on the back panel by hand. Now I am placing the pink lining on top of the white fabric backwards because when I flip it inside out, the stitching won't be seen. Here is the running whip stitch, which I did to make the hem on this pocket. Here is a time lapse of the pocket panel. I used a cross stitch to hold the pocket in place. The cross stitch is one of the harder stitches I had to learn to do, and I did it all the way around the edge by hand. Here I am making a guideline stitch for the pink lining that's going to go on the panel for the pocket. Shiny down. Okay, let's recap. We have pants, fly, waistband, pocket panel, back panel, and regular side panel, plus this tube of trousers. This is the guideline stitch for the untouched pants. Here is me stitching the pocket panel with the sewing machine. Now that it's inside out, the edges are clean cut and neat. I'm now sewing that unpocketed panel. Mr. Brad is helping me adjust the vest sizing, and I'm in the back adjusting the ankles because they were too small. I am now about to sew the pants that were not sewn yet, and here is the vest that I am going to pin and then stitch together. Here is the vest with the pocket panels sewn on. The other one is pinned in place, but I forgot to take a video of it, so here's an awkward picture of nothing while I am sewing the other one on in the meantime. The pants were so small, I had to throw together a quick stitch as close to the edge as possible. But it turned out really good, and here is Mason wearing the final product. I had intended on making a blue shirt, but I didn't have time for it, so that's unfortunate. But here's the vest and the pants all put together, and I think it looks really good. It looked really clean. Well, the pants were a little wank, but the pink piping looked really good, but what I was most proud of was my pocket.